Well, we'll get into it. Let's take a look here. All right, so the first article here, unfortunately, I need to be careful with this one. This is again from the Daily Star, and I don't want to click on this ever. And so this story is woman masturbated on tube for 10 minutes and blamed itchy thigh. Arrest warrant issued. Let me see if I can maybe. Here we go. Okay. So so-and-so, 37, draped herself across 4 seats on the Hammersmith and City line while touching herself and moaning loudly in February. Hinkson's hands was allegedly still down her trousers when she was arrested by police officers at King's Cross Station. Passenger Anthony, blah, 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 who is visually impaired in one eye, told City of London Magistrates Court he boarded at Paddington after being escorted into the front carriage with his guide dog. He said, I was suddenly aware of a banging noise, and I thought it was something mechanical, but I noticed that to my right there was a lady who was laying out across 3 or 4 seats. So apparently she just couldn't help herself. She she was banging her foot against the seat of the glass, which was making the noise. There was not anybody standing in the way. I could see her quite clearly. Well, the guy's visually impaired, though. Mr. Burton denied his impaired vision had affected what he had seen. He continued, all I could see of her hand was the top of her wrist area because the rest of her hand was in her trouser. It was around her crotch. It was blatantly obvious which part of her body it was. Her hands were moving back and forth in a sort of gyratory movement. I mean, why's this guy gotta hate on her, dude? Why does he gotta hate on her? Like, leave her alone. She was, having a good time. She wasn't saying anything, but there were moans and groans of sexual nature. I was quite taken aback. I mean, I don't know why you didn't, Never mind. Mr. Burton contacted the police. Oh my gosh, he's a snitch. After seeing there were no children nearby at risk of seeing. This guy's got great vision, by the way. Hinkson later told officers, rash on my inner thigh. I was scratching a rash on my inner thigh. It comes and it goes. Anyway, so long story short, they issued an arrest warrant for my girl right here. Such a shame. Such a shame. Oh, so that's why Dub Girl left. Makes sense now. That's super good to hear. Glad things are... Yeah, for sure, Wolfie. For sure. What's up, Wolfie? How you doing? All right, I saw this story, and a 20-year-old woman with 2 uteruses unexpectedly gave birth to twins nearly a month after she gave birth to a baby boy. I'm going to say that again because you might be like, what? So a 20-year-old woman with 2 uteruses unexpectedly gave birth to twins nearly a month after she gave birth to a baby boy. So she gave birth. Then a month later, she had to go back to the hospital, and she wound up having twins. According to CNN, a Bangladeshi woman identified as blah, blah, blah had twins 26 days after she gave birth to her first child at such and such hospital in Dhaka. What's weird about this is it says Tampa. That's the thing that confused me a little bit. Sultana has uterus didelphys, a condition meaning she has 2 uteruses. She came to the hospital complaining of lower abdominal pain. Once an ultrasound was performed, doctors realized Sultana was pregnant with twins. Her first baby and her set of twins were conceived and grown in separate uteruses. Doctors say she did not get an ultrasound before the first delivery, so it was missed. Doctors were able to perform a C-section to safely deliver the twins, a girl and a boy. All 3 children and their mother are all fine. Can you imagine what kind of surprise that would be, dude? Can you imagine? That would be wild, dude. That would be so wild. You're like, well, we got a baby boy. All right, we're done. Woo. And then you get hit with twins afterwards. I mean, basically, you're triplets, dude. You end up with triplets. Sheesh. Man, I don't even know. That'd be wild. Would uteruses be called uteri? Or I think it was uteri, right? I don't know. It says uteruses, so I was just reading that. But I thought it was called uteri, right? That poor woman. Can you imagine, BEG? Not just that, because like when you have a natural childbirth, it's a lot easier on the woman, like post-op or whatever. But to have a C-section afterwards, man, like the word that you got hit with the double whammy, dude. Hey, brother Mo, what's up, man? How are you, dude? Happy Wednesday. Wait, by the way, I just realized it's hump day, baby. That's right. It's hump day. But anyway, yeah, so this one kind of caught me off guard a little bit when I saw it. I thought it was like a fake story, but no, it's legit. It's a legit story. All right, what else do we have here? Woman is feared to have irreversible brain damage. This was actually, I forgot to turn the music off, sorry. This actually, I was like, what? Like, since, because we bought a juicer and I've been doing juices for the kids, I saw this and I was like, whoa, what's going on here? But so woman is feared to have irreversible brain damage after going on a 3-week fruit juice diet in Israel. So it wasn't as sinister as I thought. Like, I mean, obviously she does, this woman is in a serious situation, but I thought like maybe it was related to the juice, like being the problem. But so a woman in her 40s has been taken to the hospital in Israel with brain damage after being put on a strict juice diet. The woman, who was not identified, had been on the diet for 3 weeks after visiting an alternative therapist in Tel Aviv. As part of the diet, she was only allowed to consume fruit juice and water, which caused an imbalance of salt in her brain. She has been under observation for 3 days, and medics fear the damage may be permanent. The diet also caused the woman's weight to plunge to less than 90 pounds. In Israel, no blah, 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 blah. I'm not, while the woman's exact condition was not listed, she was likely suffering from hyponatremia, also known as water intoxication. Look at that. The condition is caused by low levels of sodium in the blood and commonly occurs in people who drink a lot of water while recovering from stomach upsets without replacing electrolytes. Look at that. That's very interesting. I drink a lot of water. However, extreme detox diets have been known to cause the condition, which in extreme cases can result in seizures and heart problems. Look at that. Very, very interesting, actually. So anyway, kind of like I said, this caught my attention because of the juicing part. Good, just messing with some Anthem. How far along are you on Anthem? Because I was just about to talk about Anthem. So BioWare, so this article says BioWare responds to report of Anthem's alleged development troubles. Now, as I had mentioned during the intro, last night I was hanging out, before bedtime I was hanging out in another Notches channel, and there was really good conversation in there last night about video games. And one of the things that came up was that apparently Kotaku released an article. They did like a research piece on Anthem and specifically BioWare. And what they found was that Anthem actually had only been in development for 18 months, so less than 2 years, which explains all of the issues that the game had, right? Because it didn't feel like a well-developed game. Apparently they had it, I think it was for 7 years. Like they had, they had been working on it, but I guess they kept rebooting the game and starting over. And so what you have been playing is only 18 months worth of development, which I was like, wow, that was, I was like 18 months, man. That's like nothing, dude. But so anyway, so following an in-depth report published Tuesday by Kotaku on the challenges of creating Anthem, BioWare had declined to comment in the article itself, but outlined in response in a blog post. Kotaku added an update, blah, 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 blah. So in his piece, that dozens of veteran developers have left BioWare over the past couple years, with many noting stress being a driving factor. Some from the Edmonton office touched specifically on mental health, with doctors allegedly forcing the employees to take a mandated leave for a few weeks or months. something that was reportedly known around the office as stress casualties. Some people would come back after a few months and others would not. I actually cannot count the amount of stress casualties we had on Mass Effect Andromeda or Anthem, a BioWare developer who remained anonymous told Kotaku. Another former developer for BioWare told Kotaku they would often go into a private room, close the door, and just cry. And someone else said depression and anxiety are an epidemic within BioWare. A developer shared that a term called BioWare magic is well known around the studio. It's reportedly a way of thinking that no matter how challenging the production on a game is, it will all come together seamlessly in the end. That sounds like Paul Magic. Kotaku writes that this belief worked with the Mass Effect trilogy and Dragon Age Origins, but after the large failures of Mass Effect Andromeda and now Anthem, there needs to be a shift in attitude and working conditions. So apparently, there's a real problem over at BioWare. Now, according to this is something else that was being discussed yesterday, and again, and something I had no idea. Right, like I know EA uses that Frostbite engine, so I know that the Frostbite engine is EA, but I didn't know that EA has everyone, no matter what the game is, using the Frostbite engine. So that's number one. I didn't know that. Number two is apparently the Frostbite engine is no good if it's not a first-person shooter. That's what it was designed for. So it says here, Frostbite is like an in-house engine with all the problems that entails. It's poorly documented, hacked together, and so on, with all the problems of an externally sourced engine. A former employee of BioWare told Kotaku, nobody you actually work with designed it, so you don't know why this thing works the way it does, why this is named the way it is. It was a really interesting piece, and it explains a lot of the issues with Anthem. And I would say, starting with the fact that apparently Anthem only had 18 months of development. That's just, that's criminal. It really is. Like, that's just criminal to charge people full price for a game like that, and to see how, the game has had a lot of problems. It doesn't have end game and all those things. But anyways, this was kind of something that was being discussed last night, and it caught my attention. Gives great insight into how much BS they spout before release to get suckers to pre-order. For sure. Yeah, for sure, Apex. Yeah. It also could be the people that like the spokesmen for the game, they could be delusional too. Like they could think like, oh yeah, we're going to nail this, But yeah, Apex, 18 months, dude. 18 months. I'm telling you, look, like honestly, and I said this after I did the beta for the game. I said the gameplay feels really good, but there's something off about this game. It doesn't feel polished to me. And people said, "Oh, but it's the beta and the load screens, they're going to fix that and this and that." And I was like, "Man, I don't know." It just didn't feel like a game that was developed and like for release in 2019. And I think this was very telling. Very telling. But anyway, I wanted to share that with you because I know a lot of you liked Anthem, or were very interested in Anthem. And I know many of you were let down, and we've had conversations in the Discord before about it. And I thought, this is a kind of a tell-all, and I thought it would be interesting for y'all so you could understand why there are the issues that there are. So Breath of the Wild is a game that I really want to stream. I should say it's a game I really want to play, and it's a game that I really would like to stream. And I started it, I probably put in like 5 hours, and I was like, oh my gosh, this game is badass. And so, we are eventually going to be playing this game. But so anytime I see anything about Breath of the Wild or Zelda, boom, Zelda was one of my favorite games when I was younger. So Monolith Soft, the creator of Xenoblade series and co-development studio on The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, is hiring for a new Zelda project. On a Zelda-themed recruitment page as spotted by Japanese Nintendo, Monolith says it's looking for technical artists, programmers, planners, designers, and a project manager. No hint is given as to what the Zelda project would be, simply asking for staff who can help create new surprises and emotions. So this is great news because that means there's going to be time before they do something with this. Which is perfect because we still need to play the game. You know what I mean? And this is a game that I could see myself going for 100% on. Yeah, I could definitely see myself going for 100% here. Yeah, all the way. Not so much here, but definitely here. Yeah. If you were to twist my arm, I would definitely be willing to violate the 99% rule right here. I had no idea that was there, by the way. I just organically ran across that. But so anyhow, so this is something I'm kind of excited for. And then last night, hey Golden, what's up, buddy? Good morning. How are you, sir? And then last night, I didn't realize that Borderlands 3 had released a trailer. But they did, and so I was gonna share this with y'all. Guy looks dope with the one eye. We had watched the teaser last week, but I didn't realize the trailer had released as well. Damn, she's swole, bro. Looking good with that hammer. Get ready to cheer explode, baby. That looks awesome. Oh! That looks really cool too. Daddy's got those. They did a great job with this trailer. And this is all gameplay too. Well, I don't know if it's all gameplay. That's definitely gameplay. Your friends are here to save the world. Oh yeah. Oh yeah! That was Big Mama. Over 1 billion guns. My word. Guns with legs. I love that. We got you, boo. Holy cow. Big finish. Oh my God. Settle down. I'm gonna have a seizure. Anyway, I don't know. I mean, I think it looks pretty good. They did a great job on the trailer for show. For shiza, for show, they did a great job. Anyway, that's our fake news for the day. And hopefully somebody learned something today. And it was interesting.